today I have two sets here. I have the Studio 71 Grays marker set, and I have the Copic Ciao Skin set. Now, the Studio 71 I'd heard a lot of great things about, and so I wanted to give them a shot because, well, they seemed really great from all the reviews. And I needed a gray set, and I was having a lot of trouble finding the Copic one, not super expensive. So I thought I'd give this one a shot first. And so this is a set of 6 pieces. I bought it off of Consumer Crafts, and it was about $7.97, I want to say. So it comes with your black, neutral gray 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. So a really basic set. So let's just pull one of these out. So this is, it's kind of like a triangle barrel, if you can see. It's got the numbers and color names on the cap. And we've got Chills tip and a brush tip, which is kind of hard to find in the really cheap markers apparently. A lot of the cheap markers do the bullet nibs. Now, what I heard about these is that their colors and the coloring system match, now it's just what I heard, match the Artist Loft ones, and I want to say that they match the Blick illustration markers that I have. I don't have any grays to compare it to, unfortunately. Like I have, I think I have a black though, so we can kind of take a look at the difference between the two of them here. Here's my box. This is next on my list of reviews, by the way. So let's, oops, I'm opening it the wrong way. Okay, so this is the Blick illustration marker versus the Studio 71. Now the Blick has the circular barrel, which I like. I like that a little bit more than this. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of, I mean, like I know it's so that it doesn't roll off here, but this one doesn't really have that problem. I mean, I haven't had any issues with that. So you can see numbers are the same, N10 black and 10 black. And these also have the brush tip. So you can compare the two real fast. Brush tip and the chisel tip. And so it looked like these are actually, yeah, they're pretty much the same, I want to say. And there's the chisel. Yeah, they're pretty close. Anyways, close this up. So I bought these, but I kind of had an epiphany, especially when I was looking at the Artist Loft. The Artist Loft at Michael's are $3.99, which is kind of outrageous. And the same thing online, you can find them a little bit cheaper for $2 is on Consumer Craft, and these are like $1.97. But in all honesty, if you pay just a little bit more for the Blick Studio refillables, it's actually a little bit better of a deal. So if you just pay just a little bit more for the Blick Studio markers, it actually turns out to be a little bit better of a deal. I mean, the initial cost is a little bit more. I think with tax these were $4.12 versus, you know, like this one would be $1.97. Yeah, but you are getting a refillable marker. You are getting a marker that you can replace the nibs on both sides. In the past, these have not been refillable, but now they have refills. And the quality of the nib on this compared to the cheaper ones is much, much better. I find that it's easier to blend and get a lighter stroke with these right here than these. So I know this is not the same color, but you know, the nibs, like the brush is a little bit smaller on the Blick Studio ones, but you can feel the quality difference. So I highly recommend the Blick Studio. These are good if you're just getting started and you are trying to figure out if you want to work with alcohol markers. So if you're not sure, definitely get a cheap set. This is a great set to start with. I would almost recommend the Blick Studio ones, the Blick illustration markers, a little bit over these, because one of these that I opened had kind of some funkiness going on in the tip, like the brush tip. It seemed like almost it had something on it. I don't know. But anyways, the next one that I had were the Copic Ciao markers. Now, of course, people have reviewed this to death, but I am going to compare these to Blick. Now, of course, these are brush tip, chisel tip, refillable, replaceable. They're a little bit more affordable than the classic Copic markers at $3.89. I'm not 100% sure on that number. I'd have to look it up. But they're a little bit more affordable. The other ones are about five and some change. But the other ones are going to be bigger. They're going to hold more ink. So they're going to potentially last you a lot longer if you're very heavy with them. But the Copic Ciao is a good one to start with. I just bought the skin set because I didn't like the skin options that I had in my current set. And I still don't have enough options to do dark skin characters. I do a lot of light skin characters with markers because I don't have enough dark skin markers. Otherwise, I totally would. But anyways, so really nice. It's definitely smaller than these ones, as you can see, skinnier. The chisel tip is thinner than if we're comparing to these guys. And just for kicks, there's the Blick. Now you can kind of see that the Blick Studio one is a little bit more comparable with these two compared to this one. And it just really depends on what, I don't use the chisel tip that much, maybe like for backgrounds. But the brush tips are also smaller, so we got this one. And I'm using this one because it's pretty comparable to the one I just showed you. But actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's actually grab the one that I'm trying to review. That would be actually a great idea, right? So, there's that chisel tip. It's about the same. Brush tip. Ugh. The caps are a little difficult to get off. Brush tip. And brush tip. So, the Ciao has a slightly bigger brush tip compared to the Blick Studio markers. But the feel and the quality between the two are pretty close. I really liked these. I really liked how they colored with this. Like, this is the problem that I'm having, and you can't really see it, but there's like some splotchiness that indicates maybe that this pen may be ready to dry out a little bit. I really don't know. I'm probably not going to spend any more money on disposable ones and just start my Dick Blick collection because it just makes more sense to me, and just feeling the difference in the quality on how you color with these or the Copics compared to the disposable ones, you just can't compare. So anyways, I have a drawing already that I'm going to go ahead and make with the Copic Ciao and the Studio 71 Grace, and we'll see how it turns out and how they perform in proper use. All right, final thoughts here. What can I say about these? You notice I don't have the Copics out here because I've already integrated the Copics into my collection. These grays were not easy to work with. They were difficult to blend. It seemed like they just did not want, the ink just didn't want to move, and it took a lot of work. I tried to blend them like with each other, and in the end I ended up using my Ciao blender in order to get soft lines because I just couldn't do it. And as a result, I ended up with a dirty tip on that one. I mean, it still worked, but it doesn't look pretty. Of course, with the Copic, the skin tones, as usual, there were no problems. It was fine. I mean, that's to be expected. It's Copic. But everything else, the grays and stuff, I just really struggled with, to the point where I actually ended up contacting Consumer Craft and requesting a return because I'm not going to use these. There's just no way I'm going to use them. And the disappointing part is that a lot of people really raved about these, how great they were, and you know, I wasn't really sold. It just wasn't really a smooth enough finish for me. And I'm slowly discovering this about my Blick illustration markers too, which I do plan on reviewing shortly, and I'll explain more then. So as far as the Studio 71s, I would not recommend them unless you are looking to test out alcohol markers and are not sure if that's something that you want to do. So they're a good beginner, just wanting to test them out. I don't expect the tips or anything like that to last very long, however. So get a small set, decide if it's something that you want, and then invest in a better set. It doesn't have to be Copic. It could be the Blick Studio Markers or something similar with refillable and replaceable nibs, because there is a difference in the quality of the inks and the way that it flows. So that's my recommendation. No to these. Copics as usual. Yes, 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 yes. 100 times yes. I'm starting to see what the deal was. So anyways, subscribe. I am actually going to be changing my updating schedule to I'm once a week, not exactly Friday, because I am employed now, and so I have to rearrange my schedule and figure out how I'm going to make all this happen now. But relax, I will make it happen. Anyways, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions or if you want anything reviewed, I can see what I can do. And as usual, have a great time. Bye.